northbound right at Burbank Boulevard. We've got a two-car crash out in the first and second lanes from the left. 210 eastbound right at Huntington Drive. We've got a truck that may be on fire. Monrovia Fire Department is on the way. Traffic and weather together on the 5. Next report, 4:15 from your Southern California traffic leader, KNX 1070 and CBSLA.com.
If the Indiana Senate approved that state to be the first in the nation to allow the use of baby boxes, incubators placed at hospitals, churches, and other spots where young mothers could surrender their newborns safely. Monica Kelsey, a firefighter and medic, is president of Safe Haven Baby Boxes.
We're trying to target the girls that feel like they have no other option. We're still finding babies in the woods, creeks.
Critics say the boxes make it easier to abandon a child without exploring other options. Millions of people around the world have uncontrolled hypertension, according to officials at the Centers for Disease Control. More from reporter Sabrina Cupid.
The problem is lack of treatment, according to the CDC. Dr. Pragna Patel telling me part of the problem is many people have high blood pressure and don't even know they have it. And
even patients that are aware and in our healthcare system being seen by our doctors are not being adequately treated.
She says only about 1 in 7 people with hypertension has it under control. The goal is to raise awareness globally about high blood pressure. The CDC saying in just 10 years, if just half of the people with hypertension got treatment, 10 million heart attacks and strokes could be avoided. Sabrina Cupid for CBS News, Atlanta.
Reverend Theodore Hesburgh, the former Notre Dame president known as Father Ted, has died at 97. Under Hesburgh, the school became almost as well known for academics as for football. Time on the roundup, 7 past the hour.
Live long and prosper, remembering the man the whole world knew as Mr. Spock.
How do you like those gas prices? Up about $1 a gallon since last month, and there are calls now for the state attorney to get involved.
Get ready. It looks like it's going to be a wet weekend. This is KNX 1070 News Radio. Good afternoon. I'm Brian King.
And I'm Diane Thompson. It's Friday, February 27th, and here's what's happening at 4:07. Star Trek fans are mourning the death of actor Leonard Nimoy today. He played Mr. Spock on the iconic TV show, which originally ran from 1966 to 1969. It was a modest hit initially, but became a hugely successful in syndication. Mike Barnes, as a Hollywood Reporter, tells KNX that Nimoy had a wide range of talents.
He was quite the Renaissance man. Everyone who worked with him said he was so intelligent and precise, and a lot of the qualities that you know of him on the air. I think he was that way in real life.
Nimoy directed 2 of the Star Trek theatrical films. He wrote poetry and was a respected photographer. He died at his home in Bel Air of lung disease, which he blamed on years of smoking. He was 83.
He's being remembered by Star Trek fans.
I was devastated. This woman stopped by Nimoy's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame to leave a note and a flower. She also gave it the Vulcan salute. He was such an inspiration as that character of Spock. It made us feel like there was always a place for us in this world.
I think everybody who to some extent feels like an alien in their own culture could relate to Mr. Spock.
JPL's Mark Raymond says he was in the Dawn Mission control room when he learned of Nimoy's passing.
The legacy of Mr. Spock is going to live on long beyond. In fact, I think even in the 22nd century, when we're exploring space, we'll still be feeling the influence of his contributions to the growing enthusiasm and the passion for exploration.
Claudia Piscuta, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Comic-Con remembers Leonard Nimoy. This is Tom Riegapel. The actor who played Mr. Spock made several appearances at Comic-Con. Jamie Newbold with Southern California Comics says whenever Nimoy showed up, the atmosphere was electric.
In the 70s, there was a line in the dealer's room to meet him. In the 90s, 2000s, you couldn't even see him. They'd be holed up in a room somewhere at Comic-Con, usually on the 2nd floor. There would be a limited number of people would get access to him, so there'd be a lottery tickets, stuff.
They go Tom Riegapel, KNX 1070 News Radio.
A sentiment many people are expressing over the passing of Nimoy.
We are taking this pretty hard.
I'm Jan Stevens. Hayden Siegel with Starfleet International says Mr. Spock was a groundbreaking role on TV.
The unique aspect that Leonard Nimoy on Star Trek was portraying the first mainstream alien character, somebody who was completely unlike the rest of the cast, but his character was also half human, so we got to see how he brought his human side and his alien side together and gave us that perspective.
He says Star Trek will go on, but without Leonard Nimoy, it won't be the same. Jan Stevens, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Consumer Watchdog is calling on the state attorney general to launch an investigation into possible
possible price manipulation at the gas pump.
Consumer Watchdog President Jamie Court says the extreme jump in gasoline prices this month and in the past day is unjustified, even with the refinery shutdown in Northern California and the explosion at the Torrance ExxonMobil refinery. Court praises planned state Senate hearings, saying one-time opposing forces on the issue seem to be in agreement now.
Consumers have been taken in the shorts for a long time, and environmentalists, frankly, historically have not really cared, because the higher the price of gas, generally the less the consumption. Well, now environmentalists and consumers and the Democrats in charge are very much in line that we need to keep gas prices as low as possible, not only for the good of consumers, but for the good of our climate.
The court says so far, no response from Attorney General Kamala Harris. Reporting from Santa Monica, Ron Kilgore, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Get ready for a wet and cold weekend. A Pacific Northwest storm has the potential to make things miserable over the next few days.
We're going to get a little bit of everything. Rain, possibly intense thunderstorms at times that could pose problems for the Colby Burn areas or for mud flow prone areas of Pacific Coast Highway that are just being reopened following a 2.5-month closure. Kurt Kaplan with the National Weather Service in Oxnard says snow levels will also drop as a result of the cold nature of this weather front.
They'll be down to 3,500 to 4,000 feet by Saturday night and Sunday, so we anticipate some issues over the I-5 corridor and Highway 14 near Acton.
In short, get ready for some local climate change ahead. In Malibu, Pete Demetrio, KNX 1070 News Radio.
We'll get the latest forecast for this story a little later this half hour at 4:23 when we check in with CBS 2 meteorologist Rich Fields. KNX News Time 4:12. Let's get a check of your money news. It's been more than 3 years since stocks saw a month this good. Here's Joan Doniger.
The Dow and S&P both rose at least 5.5% in February. The NASDAQ more than 7%. Even with a session that saw the Dow lose 82 points, the NASDAQ 24, and the S&P give back 6. John Canale of LPL Financial credits a couple of factors.
We did have a rocky January. Much of that concern was around Greece. And as the month of February progressed, it became clear that the Greek issue would get resolved. And I think that was a big lift. Also, oil prices stabilized.
Oil jumped 3% for the day, settling not quite a quarter away from $50 a barrel. And the drop in oil and gas prices is actually helping fuel sales of Monster beverages. Shares of the energy drink traded with an extra jolt after Monster posted its 4th straight quarter of better than predicted earnings. Sales sped up at the end of last year and the beginning of this one, with much of Monster's sales coming from convenience stores. From Bloomberg Business, I'm Joan Doniger for KNX 1070 News Radio.
Take the pledge to each shop and play at participating businesses in the Crenshaw LAX construction area and qualify for a chance to win great prizes. Learn more and find great deals on local restaurants and shops at metro.net/eatshopplay.
There is something about the road that beckons, that invites us to pack up the family and leave the world behind. And there is something about an industry-leading unlimited mileage warranty on a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz that gives us the freedom to do exactly that. You take to the highway, rack up the miles for up to 3 years, and drive with the assurance that your Mercedes-Benz is covered. You have the security of being in a car that has been certified to Mercedes-Benz standards, while you enjoy a carefree ownership experience for miles and miles. But while the mileage is unlimited, your time to take advantage of our certified pre-owned sales event is not. Now through March 2nd, you can also receive complimentary prepaid maintenance and your first 2-month payments on us on select models, plus 3 months of Sirius XM satellite radio. So hurry into your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer today and see why we say the odometer is there to record the memories.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
We're headed to Santa Ana on Friday, March 13th for KNX on your corner.
It's great seeing the voices that we know on a daily basis as live people at events like this.
Presented by the Southern California BMW Center. Tune in all day for special coverage on Santa Ana and a live broadcast from Westfield Main Place at Center Court next to Nordstrom from 1 to 7 p.m.
The most amazing people come to KNX events.
Get more information at cbsla.com/onyourcorner. Sponsored in part by Renewal by Anderson.
KNX News Time 4:15. We're seeing a few sprinkles out there already. Traffic and weather together on the 5s. Here's to East Fondo.
We've got a new problem reported on the 110, and this is in Gardena. Thank you to the tipster who called it in. SUV crash, 110 south, 91 eastbound. In Norwalk, an injury accident reported by Tom on the 105 eastbound at the 605. Also, Linda called. She was on the 22 eastbound just past the Fairview exit. Saw a crash there happen in the second lane from the left. Let's talk to Mike Baez. He's in Air 1070 over the 101 between Woodland Hills and Sherman Oaks.
So far, not a lot of rain here, but it seems to be moving along fairly well in both directions of that 101 between the 405
I-405 here out of Sherman Oaks over toward Woodland Hills, Topanga Canyon, east to westbound.
On the 10, we've got a new accident reported with injuries in Bloomington, 10 westbound. This is before the Cedar exit, and 10 eastbound west of the 210. Accident just reported. Traffic and weather together on the 5s. Next report, 425 from your Southern California traffic leader, KNX 1070 and CBSLA.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm CBS 2 Chief Meteorologist Josh Rubenstein. Here's a look at what's going on weather-wise for the next few days. We've got that chance for rain starting tonight, going all the way through Monday, but it's going to be scattered. I would say Orange County, Inland Empire, you folks have the best chance at some consistent rainfall. Otherwise, just scattered showers starting tonight. Tomorrow, 64 degrees, 63 on Sunday. Snow levels dropping down, so watch out. Grapevine, Cajon Pass, down to about 4,000 feet. 64 degrees on Monday, and then we start drying out on Tuesday and Wednesday, 66, then 68 degrees. That's a look at your forecast for the weekend is always in sight. KNX 1070 News Radio.
Right now, Oxnard 67 degrees, 61 in Long Beach, and Burbank 61 degrees.
Breaking news now on KNX 1070 News Radio.
The $150,000 gown worn at the Oscars by Lupita Nyong'o has been found. Good news. TMZ is reporting the guy who stole it returned it to the London West Hollywood Hotel a couple of hours ago and called TMZ to tell them where it could be found. Now, according to TMZ, the guy took the dress after he noticed Nyong'o's door was open and that he and someone else took 2 pearls off the dress and took them to LA's Garment District, where they were told the pearls were not real. TMZ called the sheriff's department, which went where the guy had told them, and found the dress inside a garment bag in a bathroom near the gym. So, phew. The 2015 U.S. debut of the world's top golfer has been a disaster. We'll check in with Steve Grad coming up next. It's 4:17.
When searching for river cruises in Europe, search AmaWaterways.com.
As the calendar moves forward and the months plod on, do you ever stop and wonder, what's it all about?
Well, this month, it's about horsepower.
It's about towing capacity. For this month is truck month.
Now when you combine loyalty discounts, trade-in assistance, total cash allowance, you drive away with $7,250 in total savings on Silverado. Now you must show proof of ownership and trade in a 1999 or newer GM vehicle. Take delivery by 3/2/15. It's your Southern California Chevy dealer.
CBS Sunday. What happens when the producers of Breaking Bad and House make a cop show?
We got a murder to solve. Let's go.
It's not your ordinary cop show.
You were just a dog barking at the wind. That's not a saying. It's an idiom. You're an idiom.
Josh Duhamel.
You're a good person, Detective Agnew.
Dean Withers.
And you, Agent Chamberlain, you're the devil.
The new drama Battle Creek premieres CBS Sunday.
Sunday starting at 10 on CBS 2. Then stay tuned for CBS 2 News at 11.
My bond with California is all about wide open spaces. From the big Sierras, the little troubles in life seem, well, little.
California bonds give you the chance to strengthen the state for future. And now, the state is issuing about $1.9 billion of tax-exempt bonds. During this special pre-sale, you'll have first pick of bonds and available maturities before the large institutions, and you won't have to pay an upfront sales commission. Visit buycaliforniabonds.com or contact your broker today, because this special pre-sale ends March 3rd.
My bond with California means my family will continue to explore all this state has to offer long into the future.
Visit buycaliforniabonds.com.
This ad is provided by the California State Treasurer's Office. This ad is not an offer to sell nor a solicitation of an offer to buy bonds. Bonds may only be purchased through a broker and an official statement.
Fact or fad?
Humans have no business eating grains.
Hundreds of thousands of Americans are turning their backs on gluten.
It's really bad stuff.
But is it doing any good, or just making billions for the food industry? On Thursday morning, March 5th at 10, it's KNX Spotlight, a gluten-free program, taking your calls and tweets. Exclusive, original programming from Southern California's news leader, KNX 1070 News Radio.
KNX News Time 420 Sports, sponsored by CarsonToyota.com. The world's #1 ranked golfer will receive an unwanted vacation this weekend. Here's KNX 1070, Steve Grad.
No, of course it isn't Tiger Woods. That's in 2012, which was the last year that the world #1 ranked golfer Rory McIlroy last missed a cut, but he's going to miss one now. McIlroy was one of the golfers who finished on a less-than-perfect day in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida at the Honda Classic. He finished 2 rounds at 7 over par. The cut projected to be at 3 over. Here's how McElroy reacted to how he played.
Today, I felt like I was trying to get something going and couldn't, and it's tough coming off 3 weeks off and then playing in conditions like these. It sort of shows you where your game's at, so just got to regroup and put some work in and get ready for Miami next week. Obviously not what I wanted this week, but don't feel like it's too far away.
Most of the field didn't finish the second round because until the weather cleared up, there wasn't enough time before the darkness set in. Of those who did finish, Patrick Reed at 6 under leads Luke Donald by 2 shots. What a busy night on the local sports scene. All 4 of the Winter Pro sports clubs are busy. Clippers visit Memphis. Lakers host Milwaukee while the Kings and Ducks play each other in Anaheim. Sports at 20 and 50 past the hour. Steve Grad, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Carson Toyota's Big President's Day event continues. Right now, only $1 down delivers any new or used car in stock. Plus, when you buy any new 2015 Toyota today, you make no payments till May 2015. The Big President's Day event is going on now with just $1 down and no payments till May 2015. Carson Toyota, just off the 405 at Wilmington exit. $80 dock fee. See dealer for details. Financing available through Toyota Financial Services to qualified Tier 1 Plus and Tier 1 credit customers only. Expires March 2nd, 2015.
Get down to Glendale Mitsubishi for an incredible February lease on the all-new 2015 Mitsubishi Mirage DE with a monthly lease special of only $99, or get a $1,000 factory rebate on purchases. The all-new 2015 Mitsubishi Mirage has 7 standard airbags, including a driver's knee airbag, halogen headlights, and a remarkable 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. And this is a compact that gets up to 44 mpg highway. Get down to Glendale Mitsubishi for the Mirage February lease special at $99 a month for 24 months on approved credit, or a $1,000 factory rebate on purchases. This month only at Glendale Mitsubishi on Brand Boulevard of Cars in Glendale, just minutes from Dodger Stadium. Or visit GlendaleMitsubishi.com. That's GlendaleMitsubishi.com.
Mileage claim based on EPA mileage estimates. Actual mileage may vary. $99 a month plus tax. Closed-in lease for 24 months on Tier 1 above average credit. Approved through MMCA. Total to start $24.95. Zero security deposit. 12,000 miles per year additional. 15 cents per mile. MSRP $14,015. SDK number 50124. VIN number 009727. Offer ends March 2nd. A storm is coming. CBS 2 meteorologist Rich Field joins us live. Rich, how's it looking out there?
Well, Brian, the cloud cover is certainly starting to pick up already as this cold core storm starts to make its way into Southern California. And as I just said, it's a cold storm, so we're going to see snow levels drop considerably overnight tonight, and then most notably Sunday night as well, down to below resort level. Could see 3,500 feet, 4,000 foot snow levels by Sunday night.
Well, Rich, somebody at my house is just itching to get out on the slopes. How many inches are you talking about?
As far as snow is concerned, we're talking about anywhere from 4 to 8 inches around 4,000 feet and higher. You get up to 7,000 feet, we're talking about 8 to 12 inches of snow. And as far as rain's concerned, we're talking about anywhere from 1/10 of an inch to 1/2 inch in the lower elevations, and anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches in some of the higher elevations with rain.
It's kind of hard to pin down exactly where and when these big rain bursts are going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Brian, we're talking about this being a very cold storm, so we're going to get a real mixing of the atmosphere and a lot of instability with this storm. So we're going to see some thunderstorm activity, mainly Sunday night, it looks like. And when those thunderstorms pop up, those areas that are right underneath those thunderstorms are going to receive some heavier amounts, much heavier amounts. So it's still up in the air right now. But again, the downtown, we're looking at about 1/2 inch of rain elsewhere, maybe as much as 2 inches of rain. And we're going to get a sort of a southwest flow out of this. If you can visualize a map of Southern California in your head, and the wind's coming out of the southwest, so any of those south and southwest facing foothill communities, you're going to get that orographic uplift where the winds hit the mountains and literally wring out the water out of these clouds. So those foothill communities in the southwest facing foothills are going to receive much more than anybody else.
Wow, that sounds real scary. The way you say it, the orographic, it's like, wow.
Yeah, it could be for some of the burn areas. We could see debris flows with regard to this. But this storm, with all the models that we've been looking at the entire week, it looks like it's going to be less rainfall, certainly through the metro area, than we had last weekend. We received almost 3/4 of an inch of rain last weekend downtown, about 7/10 actually. This one, we're looking for about 5/10 of an inch of rain.
All right, we're looking forward to whatever is coming. Should be interesting. CBS 2 meteorologist Rich Field. KNX News Time, 4:25. Traffic and weather together on the 5. Sponsored by Choice Hotels. Here's Denise Fondo.
I just got a call from Michael, the tech guy, with a good tip. wanted everybody to know that the Cajon Pass is super windy right now. So heads up, anybody in a high profile, whether it's a big rig or an RV, you got to be careful as you're making your way through the Cajon Pass. Now we're going to head to the 134. Talk to Mike Baez. He's in Air 1070. A bumpy ride there as well. Looking at that between Burbank and Glendale. How you doing, Mike?
Pretty good. We do get a couple of speed bumps here up here as well. 134 eastbound, you're seeing the brake lights here right at Buena Vista. That'll stay busy crossing over the 5 into Glendale westbound. It starts at Lancashire, and that'll spill onto the 101 westbound out beyond the 405 to almost Haskell.
We've got a new crash in Ontario on the 10. This is 10 eastbound, and it's before the Vineyard exit. A couple of cars in an injury crash in Orange County on the 91 eastbound. Really slow drive at Imperial all the way to the 15. And you've got an accident right at the 241. Two-car crash there. It was out in the far right lane. It looks like a non-injury accident. What's the secret to great business trips? Choice Hotels, because now when you take 2 separate trips, you earn 1 night free. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and visit choicehotels.com for details. Great endings begin here. Traffic and weather together on the 5s. Next report 4:35 from your Southern California traffic leader, KNX 1070 and CBSLA.com.
CBS 2 weather forecast, as Rich Fields is telling you about, we're going to have the storm system come in, and it's going to really rock us around a good bit, especially with the winds and some of those mountain passes, and the snow as well, getting pretty low, about 3,500 feet at the coldest point. Right now it is 61 at the CBS Broadcast Center here on the Miracle Mile.
Despite hecklers and cancellations around the country, comedian Bill Cosby continues to tour. Reporter Chris Miller has more on his latest stop in Louisiana.
Cosby continues to refuse to say much, if anything, about the numerous allegations that he drugged women and raped them and used his power in the entertainment industry to keep them quiet. And the fact that fans continue to buy tickets to his shows upsets Ebony Turner of the Louisiana Coalition Against Sexual Assault.
I'd like for people who are fans of Bill Cosby or who are going to this event to know that just because someone is a talented person doesn't mean that they don't have the ability to commit sexual assault.
Cosby performs tonight in Lafayette. The comedian released a statement thanking his fans for love, support, and trust, and added he can't wait to warm the hearts of the audience with the gift of laughter.
Cosby's lawyers want a judge to throw out a defamation lawsuit filed by 3 women who accused the comedian of sexually assaulting them. The women say Cosby's reps have publicly called them liars. KNX News Time, 4:27.
The free Money Matters Retirement Seminar is 1 p.m. tomorrow, Doubletree by Hilton, Marina Del Rey. If you're retired or retiring, don't miss it. Ken Murray was featured on Fox Business News and quoted in MarketWatch, Wall Street Journal, CNN Money, and Forbes. Clients that followed his advice did not lose money in the market crash of 2008. When you work with Money Matters, we become your personal financial watchdog so you can relax and not worry. Register at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302. Again, 800-994-0302, or stop by.
Attention municipal bond investors. Through the Buy California Bonds program, the state is committed to making bonds available to individuals on a first priority basis through an early order period March 3rd. FMS Bonds, the tax-free municipal bond specialists, can help. They've offered investors value and insight for more than 35 years. To learn more about this early order period, call 1-800-FMS-BONDS. That's 1-800-FMS-BONDS. Or visit fmsbonds.com today. Muni investors, where can you find munis that suit your needs? Think about it. Many firms sell tax-free municipal bonds, but few have the insight to help you make a smart decision. FMS Bonds knows tax-free bonds. It's their specialty and has been for more than 35 years. Don't call them for stocks or other investments, but when it comes to munis, they're the ones to turn to. Call 1-800-FMS-BONDS and discover the difference. That's 1-800-FMS-BONDS. Or online, visit fmsbonds.com.
This is Scott Brown from Crestline Funding. In 1994, my college roommate Brad and I convinced my mom to loan us a few bucks to start a mortgage company. 20 years later, we funded more than $1 billion in home loans to California families. How did we do it? With a little help from our not-so-silent partner, Mom.
You can't buy me out.
She approves every loan we do.
Have you checked today's rates on a 30-year fix?
Yes, Mom. They're 3.875%.
You're not charging any points or fees, are you?
No, Mom. They're 3.875% with no points or fees. At Crestline Funding, we do everything ourselves from start to finish. So call us for a 30-year fix at just 3.875% at 800-299-6800. 800-299-6800.
Now, when can I see my grandkids, honey?
We'll treat you like family. Call today, 800-299-6800. Crestline Funding, your friend in the mortgage business.
3.875% APR. $417,000 loan amount, owner occupied, 75% LTV.
DB, rate and term within pounds. BRE number 011908997, NMLS 197.
Tonight at 10 on ABC. Women incarcerated, in crisis, in prison. Cameras rolling, inmates, officers collide. The secrets of prison life for women.
Orange is the new black. This is my life.
The astonishing Diane Sawyer special tonight at 10 on ABC.
Where the Newswatch never stops. Always live and local. This is KNX 1070 News Radio.
Good afternoon, I'm Brian Ping.
And I'm Diane Thompson. Our top story.
Just hours left until the Department of Homeland Security technically runs out of money.
Lupita Nyong'o has her pearl dress back, minus a couple of pearls, but now the question's being asked, are they real?
Fans of Spock are fondly remembering Leonard Nimoy. It's Friday, February 27th, and here's what's happening at 4:31.
CBS News Update, I'm Sam Litzinger. Now we'll see if House Speaker John Boehner has a plan B and maybe C. The House has failed to approve a short-term bill to fund the Department of Homeland Security, in part because some of his fellow Republicans are demanding a provision to block President Obama's immigration policy. CBS News Capitol Hill correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Texas Congressman Louis Gohmert insisted Congress shouldn't fund anything that allows the president to implement his executive actions on immigration.
Please, I know party divisions run deep, but stand with us for the Constitution.
The top House Democrat Nancy Pelosi implored Republicans to, in her words, get a grip.
Grow up, bite the bullet, you've made your point.
It's not clear what'll happen next here.
The House may try another vote sometime tonight. What happens if Congress doesn't pass a bill tonight to keep the Department of Homeland Security funded? Well, about 30,000 DHS workers would be furloughed. The rest would be expected to keep working without pay. CBS News Update, I'm Sam Litzinger.
KNX News Time 4:32. Repeating late word, Lupita Nyong'o's $150,000 Oscar dress, the one that was stolen from her hotel room in West Hollywood, has been returned to that same hotel. TMZ is reporting that the guy who stole it called them, told them where it could be found inside a garment bag in a second-floor restroom near the hotel gym, and then they called the sheriff. Deputies found it just as described. Now, TMZ says the thief also said he'd had a couple of the 6,000 pearls from the dress tested in downtown L.A. and then was told that they weren't real.
The man who portrayed Spock on TV and in a string of Star Trek movies is being remembered today. Leonard Nimoy died at home in Bel Air. He was 83. William Shatner, who played Captain Kirk, says he loved Nimoy like a brother and will miss his humor and capacity to love. George Takei, who shared the bridge of the Enterprise's Sulu, says the world lost a great man and he lost a great friend. Nimoy was originally uncomfortable being remembered as Spock, but made peace with his character later in life.
I'm still amazed at the effect that Star Trek has had on his culture.
Star Trek, one of TV's most successful series, catapulted Nimoy into stardom and earned him 3 Emmy nominations. Nimoy also penned the autobiography I Am Not Spock in 1975 that offended his fans, and then wrote its sequel, I Am Spock, 20 years later.
And it was a mistake. The reaction of people was, this is a rejection of the character. That wasn't the intention at all. So I thought I'd clean up the problem with I Am Spock.
Danielle Nottingham, CBS News.
And even official Washington is mourning the loss of actor Leonard Nimoy.
The actor-director had fans throughout the cosmos, even at the White House. In a statement, President Obama said, I loved Spock. The president, known for his coolness and big ears, noted both characteristics of the Star Trek icon. He said Leonard was a lifelong lover of the arts and humanities and a supporter of the sciences. When they met in 2007, Mr. Obama thought it logical to greet him with a Vulcan salute. Live long and prosper. Pam Coulter, CBS News, the White House.
There are many Star Trek fan clubs, and one was started with creator Gene Roddenberry. I'm Jan Stevens. The International Federation of Trekkers goes back to 1983. President Russ Hasledge has a lot of memories of Nimoy.
He was always very gracious and wonderful to the fans. I loved every chance I had of hearing from him or talking to him. He was truly what Gene would have wanted in the whole Star Trek mythos. He was a regular person. Nothing bad could ever be said about Leonard because he was so genuine. He really kept the legacy of Star Trek alive and was always wonderful to the fans that adored him.
Jan Stevens, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Another data breach. This time it affects Uber drivers. The ride-sharing company is just now talking about the breach that occurred last May and was discovered last September. Uber says the names and license numbers of 50,000 drivers were leaked. The company says it has since blocked further access to the database in question and alerted affected drivers. KNX News Time, 4:35. Traffic and weather together, sponsored by Downtown LA Motors Mercedes-Benz. Here's Denise Fondo.
We've got a new crash reported in San Clemente. This is on the 5, and it's on your northbound side, just south of Avenida Vista Hermosa. We've got an injury crash. It looks like a car actually had a flat tire and may have lost control. He's sideways in the first lane from the left. So there you go. That's why you've got slow traffic northbound headed through San Clemente. Then on the 55, there's a new crash. It's on the southbound trans to the 73 south. Parties are out of their cars, hopefully not in the lanes. But again, 55 south, 73, you're going to see some slowing there with that accident. Just reported on the 134. This is in Burbank. It's on the eastbound side at Hollywood Way. We've got 2 cars in a crash. CHP's on the way to check that one out. In Torrance on the 405 northbound, right at Crenshaw. It looks like you've got an SUV and a pickup truck in an accident, and they made it out of lanes through the shoulder. 91 in Cerritos. Eastbound side coming up on the 605. We've got some debris reported third lane from the left. Jerry called. He was on the 14 northbound at Pear Blossom. He said traffic is backing up on the off-ramp, and that is because of some road work on Pear Blossom near the 14. Then in Thousand Oaks, Mike said we've got a crash. 101 northbound before Lynn Road, he saw a 4-car accident, right shoulder. If you see a traffic incident, call our traffic tipster line at 323-467-1070. Traffic and weather together on the 5s. Next report at 4:45 from your Southern California traffic leader, KNX 1070 and CBSLA.com.
And your CBS 2 weather forecast, mostly cloudy tonight. Slight chance of evening showers, increasing after midnight. Lows mid-50s. Snow level around 6,500 feet, but we're not expecting much accumulation for tomorrow. Chance of showers in the morning and then showers likely in the afternoon. Highs low to mid-60s. Expecting 6 to 12 inches of snow above 5,500 feet. Long Beach right now has 62 degrees, Irvine 68, and Riverside has 61 degrees. It's 4:37.
Since 1970, downtown LA Motors has made thousands of car buyers happy. Find out why they have one of the highest consumer satisfaction indexes in the country. Corner of Figueroa and Washington, just south of Staples Center. It's downtown LA Motors for your next Mercedes-Benz.
When I first heard about Brookdale Senior Living, I wondered if it would live up to our expectations of what a home should feel like. We cherish everything about the home I grew up in. The tree swing, the smells from the oven. Our height chart from growing up is still on the laundry room door. So many happy memories. But we're grown up now, and Mom doesn't need so much space. The lawn, cleaning, maintenance, it's all too much for her. So we're going to visit a new home at Brookdale. It offers a little more help and a lot less house. She's not sure if she's ready to move yet. It's a big step, but it's time we start the conversation. It'll be a more low-maintenance lifestyle, one with new friends, chef-created menus, and a caring staff. I'm excited for her.
Go to Brookdale.com to download a free senior living guide or to plan a visit. With 39 communities throughout Los Angeles, we have options to fit every lifestyle and budget. Brookdale, every home is the start of something wonderful.
Each franchise independently owned and operated. Offer good on selected window treatments for a limited time. Minimum purchase required. Ask for details.
Hello? Hi, Stacy. It's your sister. Listen, could you, trade houses with me? What? Yeah, trade houses. Jim wants to have his new boss over, and your house is so beautiful with those new drapes from Budget Blinds, and we really want to impress him.
Call Budget Blinds and have your own house done. Right now, you can save hundreds of dollars on your custom window coverings.
Wow. Do they still give you a free design consultation and measure and install the window treatments for you?
Yes, and they give you their no-questions-asked warranty.
Gotta go. I'm calling now. It's the Budget Blinds Window Fashions Blowout Sale event with very stylish savings. Your style consultant will tell you how you can save hundreds of dollars on a huge selection of window coverings. Call 1-800-260-9747 now to get a free in-home design consultation and save. Hurry, sale ends soon. Call 1-800-260-9747. That's 1-800-260-9747.
Hiring? With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist and social networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with one click. Screen, rate, and hire the right candidates fast. Try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Sandra Mitchell joins us live, getting ready for the CBS 2 News at 5 o'clock. Sandra, everyone's talking about our weather this weekend.
Yeah, Brian, anybody who's in the car right now can probably see those dark clouds, wet and stormy weather on the way with a chance of snow in some places. Of course, our Jackie Johnson's going to break down the timing of this weekend storm. She'll have all the details for us.
Sandra, I haven't heard of this, a salon client run. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I've heard of Dine and Dash before, but nothing like this. A local salon says they're a victim of a similar crime. A client came in, got $900 worth of salon services, and then bolted, took off without paying. So we'll have that story to show you who police are looking for.
Sandra, this dress debate, it just won't stop.
Oh, my goodness. Everybody's talking about this. It's taken the internet by storm. We're going to explain the science behind the color of this dress and why it really depends on who is looking at it. So it's all coming up on CBS 2 News at 5 o'clock. Brian and Diane, have a great weekend.
You too, Sandra. Thanks. KNX News Time 4:40. Let's check your money news down day up month on Wall Street. Here's Joan Doniger.
Losses accelerated a little during the final hour of trading, and the Dow finished 82 points lower. The Nasdaq lost 24, the S&P 6. But the month of February turned out to be stock's best month since October of 2011. The Dow and S&P gaining at least 5.5%, the Nasdaq 7. John Canale of LPL Financial says oil prices stabilized. There was that deal on Greek debt, and earnings helped too.
Corporate earnings turned out to be way better than expectations, despite lower oil prices and a higher dollar. So the market did climb over a few hurdles in February and had a decent month.
The company that made the baseball bat swung by Babe Ruth may be looking for a new owner. Bloomberg reports the parent company of Louisville Slugger is exploring a sale. Could be valued at less than $100 million. The company's family-owned and grew out of a woodworking shop that started making baseball bats 130 years ago. From Bloomberg Business, I'm Joan Doniger for KNX 1070 News Radio.
It's been a long, steady climb to the top, but the view from 40,000 feet has never been sweeter for Emirates Airline, one of the world's largest international carriers. A major reason for their ascent to the top lies in their attention to detail. For example, only wines and champagnes that can stand up to the rigors of flight are served on board. Offering a variety of complimentary selections in each class, vintages are sourced from world-famous wine-producing regions across the Emirates network, each one carefully selected by Emirates' chief sommelier to pair with the chef's culinary creations. Emirates' award-winning onboard selection is recognized as one of the most impressive in the industry. So whether it's the French Bordeaux or the Australian Pinot Grigio that calls your name, there are more wines that take you places on Emirates.
This message has been brought to you by Emirates Airline. Experience more as you journey to over 140 global destinations. Fly Emirates. Hello tomorrow.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hi, I'm Frank Lima, President of United Firefighters of Los Angeles. The more than 3,000 brave members of our fire department strongly support Councilmember Mitchell Englander. We have worked side by side to restore our fire department back to excellence. Mitchell Englander developed FireStat LA to improve emergency response times. When it comes to public safety, Mitchell Englander doesn't just talk the talk, but walks the walk, wearing a gun and a badge and patrolling our community as a reserve Los Angeles police officer. Mitchell Englander is a leader and innovator who's a proven champion for public safety. He's brought people and resources together to keep the city safe, and he's helped our firefighters get the tools we need to save lives. We urge you to join those who put their lives on the line and support Councilmember Mitchell Englander's voice for public safety and local government.
Paid for by Mitchell Englander for City Council 2015. More information at ethics.lacity.org.
You know, oil prices have dropped in a big way, and gas prices have followed. But did you know that as a result, mortgage rates have come down too? They're now lower than they've been since June of 2013. So if you've closed a home loan in the last year and a half, make the cash call at 866-590-CASH for a lower rate, like today's 15-year fixed refi at 2.875% rate and APR with no closing costs. You can probably save with a lower payment, pull tens of thousands out of your home, or maybe do both. And we can refinance you with no closing costs. None. Because at Cash Call, we are designed to save. So make the cash call at 866-590-CASH. That's 866-590-CASH.
Cash Call Inc., Equal Housing Lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Rates may change without notice. Department of Business Oversight, California Finance Lenders Law License number 6038780, NMLS number 38512.
That's 866-590-CASH. 866-590-CASH.
Huntington Beach Ford wants to start you off right, and the best way to do it is to get you in a new 2014 Edge at 0% APR for 60 months, plus an additional $1,000 Huntington Beach Ford rebate. That's right, an additional $1,000 rebate on all 2014 Edge on Beach Boulevard near Ellis in Huntington Beach. Or go to huntingtonbeachford.com. Call 800-SELL-A-THON. That's 800-SELL-A-THON. Nobody beats a Huntington Beach Ford deal. Nobody.
Here's an alternate if you're stuck in this mess. Take
KNX 1070 traffic.
The alternates is what really helps. That helps a lot.
Helping you avoid the tie-ups.
Getting you to your destination on time with an alternate route if you need one.
Traffic on the 5s. KNX 1070 News Radio.
KNX News Time 445. Traffic and weather together on the 5, sponsored by Choice Hotels. Here's Denise Fondo.
I just got a call from one of our tipsters on Pacific Coast Highway talking about that slow northbound drive. He said it's backed up into the McClure Tunnel, and it stays slow to Entrada. It actually starts to improve in speed as you approach Entrada. PCH North is south and reopened, by the way, between Oxnard and Sycamore Canyon, so that's great news. Thousand Oaks 101 North before Lynn Road, we had a multi-car crash. This one was right shoulder. 14 northbound, the Pear Blossom off-ramp traffic backing up onto the road. Very slow, trying to get off of the 14 onto Pear Blossom because of some road work just off the freeway. In Gardena, we've got a crash with a car flipped over. Still there, 110 south, 91 east, backing up the 110 southbound, 60 eastbound before Paramount. Just got a report of an accident here. It looks like it's in the first lane from the left. San Clemente 5 northbound side, Avenida Vista Hermosa. We had an injury crash happen in the first lane from the left. And we've got high winds reported in the Cajon Pass. Great endings begin at Choice Hotels, where you will find everything a business traveler needs, like a free hot breakfast, free internet, and great rewards program. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Amenities vary by location. Traffic and weather together on the 5. Next report, 4:55 from your Southern California traffic leader, KNX 1070 and CBSLA.com.
CBS 2 weather forecast, rain approaching. We'll start to see it really late tonight into tomorrow and throughout the weekend. Snow levels falling as well. Could get about a foot at some of those mountain resorts. Right now we've got 67 degrees in Thousand Oaks, LAX with 62, downtown LA 61 degrees. This is Southern California's only all-news radio station, KNX 1070 News Radio. I'm Brian Ping.
And I'm Diane Thompson. Stories coming up. What's trending on Twitter? And we'll have an update in the case of the purloined Oscar dress.
The Dow closed down 82. KNX News Time 447.
It's time for our afternoon check on what's trending on Twitter. Leonard Nimoy tops that list. Also among the top trending subjects, hashtag rest in peace Spock, hashtag live long and prosper, and hashtag LLAP. Leonard Nimoy, who played Mr. Spock on Star Trek, has died at his home in Bel Air. He was 83. Boris Nemtsov is the second highest trending topic on Twitter. He was an outspoken critic of Russian President Vladimir Putin and a former deputy prime minister. He was shot and killed today. Also trending, hashtag the dress and hashtag dressgate. Now, we basically threatened our producer with bodily harm if he keeps talking about this subject, but he insists that the thing is white and gold. If you disagree, take it up with him at KNX David on Twitter. And make a point to tune in at 4:47 each weekday afternoon when we take a look at Twitter's top trends. By the way, it's black and blue.
Well, Diane, we can all breathe a little easier because we have a definitive answer on the dress. Lupita Nyong'o's stolen Oscar gown has been found. What do you think I was talking about? TMZ executive producer Harvey Levin joins us live on the KNX Newsline. Harvey, the thief called you guys?
This may be the craziest story that I've seen in the 9.5 years we've had TMZ. So about 2:30 today, somebody calls the tip line and talks to one of my producers. So the producer comes over to me and says, this guy just called, and he's on the phone, and he says, he stole the phone, and he says he stole the dress. And he's kind of very braggadocio about the whole thing, and he says that he made it sound like a couple of other people took 2 of the pearls off the dress and then down to the garment district in downtown LA to get it assessed because he wanted to see how much it was worth, and they found out that they weren't pearls, it was all fake. So he was pissed off, and he says he took it back to the London hotel. He said he got into Lupita's room because the door was ajar. And then he took it back to the London hotel in a garment bag and left it in an abandoned, he called it an abandoned bathroom, and on the second floor. And so my producer's telling me this, and I'm just thinking, what a crackpot. Are you kidding me? And at first I just almost dismissed it. And he said, the guy's on the line, and it sounds real. And by the time that happened, the guy had hung up. So about 5 minutes later, the guy called back, and I said, I want to talk to this guy. And I'm listening to this, and all of a sudden, it's so much detail that it's starting to sound real. So the guy hung up again, and we sent one of our guys over there just to see if there really was, like, a second-floor bathroom. And sure enough, he goes and sees that there is a bathroom, and just the way the guy said, under the counter, there's a trash bag. So we called the sheriff's department and said, look, we're not going to touch this thing, but we may know where this dress is. So the sheriff's department came over there, and they opened the garbage bag, and inside the garbage bag is a garment bag. And inside the garment bag is Lupita's dress.
Harvey, do you think the pearls were really fake? I mean, come on, they had to be real. You think they just lied to him so they'd take the dress back?
Diane, I am telling you, I don't know if you guys saw it. I'm sure you saw the stories today that there were some people saying, oh, the dress isn't worth $150,000. It's worth $1 million to $10 million because these pearls are. Did you see that story? It was all over the place, and people started saying this thing is just fabulously, it's worth a fortune. Well, everything this guy said seemed to be true, and there's a reason he took it back to the London hotel, and he says they were fake. We called Calvin Klein, and they were just pissed, and they didn't say anything, but they kind of just hung up. But do I think they're fake? I would, if I had to bet, I'd bet that they were.
What a fascinating story, and they'll be talking about it more for sure on TMZ.
We got the pictures, by the way. We got the pictures of the garbage bag and the cops opening up the bag. It's crazy.
Harvey Levin joining us live from TMZ. Harvey, thank you.
Let's see you guys.
KNX News Time, 4:51.
Sports on KNX, sponsored by BNP Paribas Open. The Kings and Ducks have something very much in common when they play tonight, and neither of them like it. Here's KNX 1070, Steve Grad.
On Wednesday, the Ducks were shut out at home by Ottawa goalie Andrew Hammond. On Thursday night, the Kings were shut out at home by Ottawa goalie Andrew Hammond. So one of them will feel better about things after tonight's game at Honda Center. And while the Ducks have a big lead in the Pacific Division and are second overall in the West, Kings are holding the 8th and final playoff spot. So how important is this game for the Kings and veteran forward Justin Williams?
Every game, I think, from here on is pretty important. I mean, there's 20 games left. We know where we stand. We're above water in the top 8 right now, but you don't keep winning, you're going to go down real quick. So, obviously important.
Veteran Ducks defenseman Ben Lovejoy says he and his teammates are really pumped about hosting the Kings tonight.
This is an incredibly hot team coming in here to play, and our arch rival. They'll be excited, we'll be excited, and hopefully we can bring our A game, which we haven't seen quite enough of late, come out and beat a very good team and springboard us for the next 20 games.
NBA in a few minutes. Clippers will tip off against the Grizzlies in Memphis. Tonight, the Lakers will host the Bucks. Lakers trying for a third straight win. Sports 20 and 50. Steve Grad, KNX 1070 News Radio.
The biggest month in professional tennis is March, and it's time to order your tickets for the 2015 BNP Paribas Open, hosted at the spectacular Indian Wells Tennis Garden, March 9th through the 22nd. Come watch your favorite players, including Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic. Tickets today online at bnpparibasopen.com or call the Indian Wells Tennis Garden box office at 800-999-1585. Don't miss it. Players subject to change.
Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost you thousands. The Quicken Loans PMI Advantage is our lender-paid mortgage insurance program. You see, we pay the PMI so you don't have to. PMI Advantage can give you more options, more flexibility, and may save you thousands when you refinance. To learn more, call us at 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN, or visit us at QuickenLoans.com.
Important terms and conditions apply. Calls for cost information. Equal housing lender license law 50 states and home number 30.
CBS Sunday. What happens when the producers of Breaking Bad and House make a cop show?
We got a murder to solve. Let's go.
It's not your ordinary cop show.
You were just a dog barking at the wind. That's not a saying. It's an idiom. You're an idiom.
Josh Duhamel.
You're a good person, Detective Agnew.
Dean Winters.
And you, Agent Chamberlain, you're the devil.
The new drama Battle Creek premieres CBS Sunday.
Sunday starting at 10 on CBS 2. Then stay tuned for CBS 2 News at 11.
Here's what customers are saying about Puente Hill Subaru.
They like to get involved with the customer and what they like and what they want.
The people here are very trustworthy.
I got a very good deal at Puente Hill Subaru.
Get the all-new 2015 Subaru Forester 2.5i for $21,845. Only at Puente Hill Subaru. FFA 01. Located next to Sam's Club in the City of Industry. Or go to PuenteHillSubaru.com. Honesty, integrity, transparency. Puente Hill Subaru.
I would definitely recommend Puente Hill Subaru.
At USC Norris Comprehensive Cancer Center, transformations are happening. World-class clinicians and researchers are replacing the fear of cancer with hope. As a National Cancer Institute-designated comprehensive cancer center, USC Norris is a national leader in cancer research and is ranked among the top 25 best cancer hospitals in the United States by U.S. News & World Report. Breakthroughs in medical science are creating momentous breakthroughs in healing. USC Norris physicians specialize in treating cancers of the breast, lung, colon, prostate, bladder, and blood with the latest medicines, surgery, and bone marrow transplants. Advances in radiation oncology allow even the most difficult-to-reach tumors to be treated without surgery and often pain-free. USC Norris, part of Keck Medicine of USC, going beyond exceptional medicine to make cancer a disease of the past. To make an appointment, visit cancer.keckmedicine.org or call 800-USC-CARE.
KNX News Time 4:55. Checking your traffic and weather together on the line. Sponsored by Choice Hotels. Here's Denise Fondo.
We've got slow traffic on Pacific Coast Highway out of Santa Monica. In fact, the tunnel, as you make your way to Entrada, looks like it gets a lot better as you approach Entrada. Thousand Oaks, we had a crash 101 northbound before Lynn Road. This was a 4-car accident, and it's out of lanes. On the 105 eastbound, right at Hawthorne Boulevard, on the on-ramp, I believe, we've got a stalled car reported. 60 eastbound. At the Garfield exit, we've got a couple of pickup trucks in a crash, and they were out in the second and third lanes from the left. Also on the 110 southbound, right at 51st, we've got a van and a car in a crash, and it looks like they are right shoulder. Great endings to get at Choice Hotels, where you'll find everything a business traveler needs, like a free hot breakfast, free internet, and great rewards program. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book at choicehotels.com. Amenities vary by location. That's traffic on KNX.
Mostly cloudy tonight with rain light. The extended forecast coming up at 5:05. Right now, 61 here on the Miracle Mile. When searching for pest control, search Pacific Coast Termite. And now food news here on KNX, and here's Melinda Lee, sponsored by the Kitchen Store.
Every survey shows that potatoes are more likely to be found in the American pantry than any other vegetable, although carrots are a close runner-up. In olden days, housewives believed the axiom that potatoes should be planted with a waxing and not a waning moon. More modern folks disparaged the notion until scientists proved that lunar rhythms affect the Earth's magnetic field, which in turn affects growth. All water, everywhere, including water inside plants and inside us, moves in tides like the ocean. Do you know that even potatoes grown in laboratories with constant levels of heat and light still grow in a rhythmic way that just happens to reflect the lunar patterns? The principal difference between potatoes from the cook's point of view is starch content. High-starch potatoes are the baking kind. They're drier than other potatoes and make great mashed potatoes. High-starch potatoes are also good for frying because their lack of moisture makes them less likely to splatter, and they like to absorb moisture but not fat, so they're a good choice for French fries, as well as scalloped potatoes and similar dishes. On the other hand, low and moderate starch potatoes, which include the thin-skinned new potatoes, are perfect for boiling and roasting and sautéing sliced because they hold their shape even after cooking. Listen to Food News on Saturdays. I'm Melinda Lee. This is Food News on Demand, KNX 1070 News Radio. Hi, I'm Melinda Lee, celebrating a triumph of excellence. This year marks the 50th anniversary for the Kitchen Store in Culver City. That's a half century of providing great kitchen cabinets and countertops, a fanatical attention to detail of what is simply the gold standard in customer service. I've been telling you how terrific they are at the Kitchen Store for ages. I have personal experience. The fact that all their cabinetry carries a lifetime warranty might give you some idea of my point. It's just that they do such a wonderful, personalized job, that they have hundreds of door styles to choose from, that you'll have your own designer who pays careful attention, that the result will be beautiful but also will fit your needs like a glove. Right now, all of the cabinets at the Kitchen Store are on sale at all price levels. They offer 1 year same-as-cash financing. That's a whole year with no payments and no interest, and all the wonderfulness is included. Call the kitchen store at 310 Kitchen or visit their website at 310kitchen.com.
KNX 1070 AM and HD, KAMP HD2 Los Angeles. KNX 1070 News Radio, broadcasting live from the Southern California BMW Newsroom. Test drive a BMW 7 Series, the driver's luxury car today.
It is Friday, February 27th. Good afternoon, I'm Brian Ping.
And I'm Diane Thompson. Our top stories.
The stolen Oscar dress has been found. The thief apparently wanted to give it back because he says it's worthless.
He's such an inspiration as that character of Spock. You know, it made us feel like there was always a place for us in this world.
Fans mourn the loss of Leonard Nimoy. I'm Claudia Pescuta with more.
This is Tom Riopel in San Diego. Nimoy was one of the biggest personalities ever at Comic-Con.
And the storm heading our way may stick around for a while. These stories and more coming up on KNX. It's 5 o'clock.
CBS News, I'm Bill Whitney.
On this vote, the yeas are 203, the nays are 224. The joint resolution is not passed.
Temporary funding to keep the Department of Homeland Security going for 3 weeks failed in the House late today as 52 Republicans defied their leadership. More from correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Texas Congressman Louis Gohmert insisted Congress shouldn't fund anything that allows the president to implement his executive actions on immigration.
Please, I know party divisions run deep, but stand with us for the Constitution.
But top House Democrat Nancy Pelosi implored Republicans to, in her words, get a grip.
Grow up, bite the bullet, you've made your point.
It's not clear what'll happen next here.
Democrats want the House to take up the bill passed by the Senate. It would fund Homeland Security for the rest of the fiscal year without blocking President Obama's executive action on immigration. If the department shuts down at midnight, about 30,000 staffers would be furloughed. The rest, essential personnel like Secret Service and TSA agents, would have to work without pay until funding comes through. Actor Leonard Nimoy, who played Star Trek's Mr. Spock, died today in Los Angeles. He was 83. Correspondent Sam Litzinger has his story.
Hard to believe now that Star Trek was not a hit show at first, and that some consider the greenish Vulcan Mr. Spock too weird for 1960s TV.
What do you call those? I call them ears.
Fascinating. Today, the character is an American icon, thanks in large part to Spock, embodied by Leonard Nimoy, who's died at age 83. We admired Spock's ambivalence and his brilliance.
This is of great scientific importance, Captain. You're actually passing through ripples in time.
For a while there, Nimoy was uncomfortable being best known for playing Spock. He had lots of other work he was proud of. But eventually, he and Spock reconciled. As Nimoy said, I know where I'm going, and I know where I've been.
Live long and prosper.
Sam Litzinger, CBS News.
President Obama is calling for a prompt, impartial, and transparent investigation into the murder of Russian opposition leader Boris Nemtsov. He was gunned down in Moscow tonight. Correspondent Clarissa Ward in London tells us Nemtsov was a Kremlin insider who initially supported President Vladimir Putin but turned against him.
Just hours before his death, he was on Russian radio calling on Muscovites to attend an opposition march that is planned for this Sunday. Many now fearful that that rally on Sunday will likely get bigger numbers, that the crowds will be more riled, more angry.
Putin has condemned the attack and suggested it might have been a contract killing. Authorities in Texas County, Missouri say a man with a gun killed 7 people before taking his own life.
Crime like this in any community is pretty major. But, it's not something we're used to seeing.
Sheriff James Sigmund says it's early in the investigation. The Dow dropped 82 points today, finishing the week at 18,132. The Nasdaq 24 points lower at 4963. This is CBS News.
Lupita Nyong'o has her pearl dress back, but the journey is the funny part.
Star Trek fans are expressing fond memories of Leonard Nimoy.
Why have gas prices skyrocketed, up $1 a gallon from last month? And there are calls for Sacramento to get involved. This is KNX 1070 News Radio. Good afternoon. I'm Brian Ping.
And I'm Diane Thompson. It's Friday, February 27th, and here's what's happening at 5:03. Lupita Nyong'o's $150,000 Oscars gown has been found. We talked minutes ago with TMZ Executive Director Harvey Levin. He says the thief called one of his producers this afternoon with a detailed account of how he took the dress and what he did with it.
He's on the phone, and he says, he's still on the phone, and he says he stole the dress. And he's kind of very braggadocious about the whole thing. And he says that he made it sound like a couple of other people took 2 of the pearls off the dress and then down to the Garnet District in downtown L.A., to get it assessed because he wanted to see how much it was worth, and they found out that they weren't pearls. It was all fake.
And Harvey says the thief was upset after finding out the pearls on the dress were fake. He says the dress's designer, Calvin Klein, had a stern response when asked if the pearls were not real.
They were just pissed, and they didn't say anything, but they kind of just hung up. But do I think they're fake? I would, if I had to bet, I'd bet that they were.
TMZ is reporting the man took the dress after he noticed Nyong'o's door was open.
Fans are remembering Leonard Nimoy. He landed the role of Spock in the original Star Trek in 1966 and gained a huge following through decades of reruns and a string of Star Trek movies. Mike Barnes of The Hollywood Reporter tells KNX Nimoy came up with a couple of Spock's best-known gestures, including the Vulcan nerve pinch.
He said he came up with that because he didn't want to get into these fist fights on the air, you know, these 60 TV shows, guys flying around and everything, and he didn't want to do that. So he came up with that, and he was able to, avoid that thing. And then the V-shaped Vulcan live long and prosper thing, he came up with that as well.
Meantime, fans are paying tribute to Leonard Nimoy.
Thank you for making us all feel like we belong.
A fan reads from the note she left on Nimoy's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Your legacy lives on forever. Live long and prosper.
I was in the Dawn mission control room where we were communicating with the Dawn spacecraft, and one of the people in the control room told me the sad news.
JPL's Mark Raymond is the Dawn chief engineer and mission director, and a fan of Spock.
That was the life I wanted to live. He was a scientist, and he got to explore the galaxy. And now I'm a scientist, and I'm getting to explore the solar system. Of course, he was different. He was an alien, but he was enough like us that everybody could relate to him.
Claudia Pescuta, KNX 1070 News Radio.
KNX News Time, 5:05. Traffic and weather together on the 5, sponsored by your Southern California Chevrolet dealers. Here's Denise Fondo.
I just heard from Jeff, the appraiser, was on the 5 in northbound. He said before Camino de Estrella, we've got a stalled car out in the far right lane, no right shoulder there because that is the construction zone. We also have a problem on the 405 northbound in Irvine. This is at Jamboree. Looks like we've got, let's see, they're listing traffic hazard. It's a stalled SUV, and it's out in the first lane for the left. 5 southbound, right at the 57 south in the Fullerton area. We've got an accident reported, and this one is in the carpool lane. I know that CHP was on the way to that one. We had an injury crash reported, hit and run injury accident on the 91 westbound at the 5 southbound. It looks like we've got a semi-truck and a car involved in that one. Not sure which of those vehicles stayed behind waiting for CHP. Tipster Guild called from the 60 eastbound at Garfield with an accident in the first lane from the left. Traffic and weather together on the 5s. Next report, 5:15 from your Southern California traffic leader, KNX 1070 and CBSLA.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm CBS 2 Chief Meteorologist Josh Rubenstein. Here's a look at your extended forecast. We do have rain in the forecast here as we make our way through the weekend. Not a lot of it, but we could see a couple of heavy downpours from time to time. Snow levels dropping down to about 4,000 feet by Sunday morning, and then as we make our way into the middle of next week, we're going to dry up. So it's 64 for tomorrow, showers on and off through the day. 63 on Sunday, better chance for some consistent showers, especially down in Orange County. 64 on Monday, 66 degrees on Tuesday, and by Wednesday, we're closer to average at about 68 degrees. That's a look at your forecast, with the weekend is always in sight at KNX 1070 News Radio.
Yorba Linda with 62 right now, Irvine 64, Venice 64. KNX News Time, 5:07.
A consumer advocate group is applauding plans for state Senate hearings on skyrocketing gasoline prices.
With a 17-cent spike in gas prices the past day alone, more than 80 cents so far this month, Consumer Watchdog President Jamie Court says legislators need to find out why this is happening, which leads to the question, what good would that do?
Well, it depends what kind of hearings they are. But I remember we had some hearings after the California energy crisis. Unfortunately, after the energy crisis, not during or before the energy crisis. Those hearings revealed an unbelievable amount about market manipulation by big energy producers.
Court says even with the Martinez refinery shutdown and the disruption of operations after the Torrance ExxonMobil refinery explosion, that should not be causing the major hikes we're seeing in Southern California and throughout the state. Reporting from Santa Monica, Ron Kilgore, KNX 1070 News Radio.
A gas price expert says there will be more price hikes in the days and hours ahead. More on that part of our story a little later this half hour at 5:23.
A Pacific Northwest storm is moving our way, and this system could hang around until Tuesday, creating some problems for some areas.
Kurt Kaplan, senior meteorologist for the National Weather Service in Oxnard, says rather than coming off of the ocean, this storm is coming from the north, packing a lot of rain and cold.
Well, we're looking to see probably between a quarter and a half of inch for the LA Ventura Coast
Hudson Valley. And then we'll see up to about 1 1/4 inches up near the San Gabriel foothills.
That storm may bring snow levels down to 3,500 feet and have some impacts on the Colby burn zones near Azusa. And it's ironic we're getting this storm now, just as Caltrans announces the reopening of the northern